Hi, everyone, and welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm Marty Snider from NBC Sports. This is Chris Rice from right here at NASCAR.com. Also, Colleague Racing, where he's in the chase, by the way, in the Xfinity
Series.
Series.
Baby.
Yes, that's indeed the truth. Hey, race number 2 of the chase in the Sprint Cup Series wraps up with Kevin Harvick in victory lane, and not in typical Kevin Harvick fashion. So what did that win say about the 14, Chris?
Showed the depth of our race team. They know how to race well. Now he showed you he can restart. He put on a restart clinic at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Matt Kenseth and Martin Truex had the best cars, but it only matters who leads the last lap. Kevin Harvick led the last lap.
Yeah, we're used to him dominating these races and winning sometimes, not winning other times, but you know, at New Hampshire, just led a few laps, the ones that counted. So
the fewest of anyone ever
right,
there.
Exactly. Hey, how about the save for Team Penske? Boy, it looked like it was going to be a disastrous day for that race team. Yeah, Brad Keselowski really raced from like 8th to 12th all day long. Joey Logano down a lap for much of the race. Yet they come back. Brad Keselowski gets a top 5. Logano finishes 11th. So when they look back at the end of things, how big will this race have been for Team Penske?
Well, it's huge, but I felt that this was a race that they needed to run well at. They needed to have a shot to win because I feel that New Hampshire's one of their best racetracks. They didn't show that, so I'm a little worried going into Dover that they could have a problem or have an issue and not make it to the next round, but really worried about going into the third round because I'm telling you, they got to find some speed somewhere, and I just don't know that they're going to find it this late in the season.
Well, I think that team certainly feels a sense of urgency to bring a little speed to Charlotte if they do indeed make it into the round of 12. All right, what about Joe Gibbs Racing? Just 2 races in. Not really the dominant speed we maybe expected out of JGR in the chase thus far. Are you a little concerned?
Well, I'm not, because I think about Martin Truex Jr. He's still crazy fast, and that's part of Joe Gibbs Racing. Yes, we're looking at Denny Hamlin. I see some tweets that he put out. He's worried about his speed, but we're going to go to a racetrack that Denny Hamlin runs well at, so I feel they'll be right back on pace when they get to Dover.
Hard to believe. Dover's coming up, the first cut race of the chase, so let's look at the chase grid and see where we stand. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick are in with wins. There you see everybody else, but I really want to focus on the 12th through 16th guys. You got Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, Tony Stewart, and Chris Buescher. Of the bubble guys, who's in the most trouble and who can climb out of that trouble?
I definitely feel Tony Stewart's in the most trouble right now. And the one that's going to climb out is Jamie McMurray, because I feel that Ganassi has turned that program around. They're running well everywhere they go. And so Jamie McMurray's going to climb his way out, but Tony Stewart, he's going to have to run well at Dover to climb himself out.
So if you're one of those guys in the top 12, how do you play this race Sunday? Are you conservative in the way you call it, Mr. Crew Chief, or what?
You're just not aggressive, okay? You don't want to be aggressive, but you got to do the same thing you did at Chicago, the same thing you did at New Hampshire, because you never know what could happen throughout the race, so you can't be conservative. You just have to do what you do. Game plan, play the game plan, and you're fine.
All right, Chris, you've been on a roll lately with picks. I got to admit, you've been doing pretty good.
Well, I took the 4 at New Hampshire. That was my role.
Yeah, well, no, you've gotten like 2 of the last 3 right. Anyway, I digress. So, who are you picking for Dover this weekend?
Martin Truex Jr. He's going home to Dover, Delaware. That's a home racetrack for him. He's always fast there. We look back to his early on in his career. He's won Xfinity races there, so Martin Truex Jr. is your guy to win the race this weekend.
I have kept my pick secret from you because I'm going to say a name that I haven't said all year long on this show. I'm going to pick Jimmie Johnson. I think things are coming together at the right time for the 48 team. Obviously, Dover's one of his best racetracks, but they haven't had the speed to win in months. I think they have that speed now, and they kind of have the psyche to get in the right position. And I think it's a great story, obviously. The race that eliminated them last year, they come back, they win this week. You buying Jimmie Johnson?
No, because they cannot have a problem like they did last year. They got to go there and have no problems, and man, I'm not seeing that right now.
All right, well, I think they might have the speed to win, and he always seems to find a little bit of magic at Dover. All right, make sure you check out NASCAR.com all weekend long, live leaderboards, in-car audio, and all the news updates before and after the Dover race. A lot to talk about after the Dover race because we're going to go to 12 drivers as we head to Charlotte next week. No doubt about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy the Dover race weekend, everybody.
It's the chase, baby.